Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Tonight, going to continue on my rampage with a little material design, little Velopack, and we're gonna muddle our way through some stuff and see how we go. So, hopefully, very cool stuff on the way. So, let's dive in. If I can remember how to drive. Oh, let's put me on the right, I guess. Okay, we're gonna go here. Okay, so material design. Corvids has got it's just absolutely killing it with various PRs out there. So we're going to start here. Let's do review code and suggest changes. So let's see. Fixes 3796. Do I have issues wired up here? GitHub issues. Take a look at this one. 3796. Okay, so when the value of is initially set to its maximum, the increase button is not disabled. The same applies to minimum and the decrease button. Okay, that makes some sense. Okay, so let's take a look then at the pull request. New code suggest changes. Okay, so this is firing on numeric value changed, but I'm wondering if the point of these methods is to call it in two places. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm wondering if these should be called at the end. And I only say that because we're setting the text property here. This is probably pretty good, but I kind of want to... I kind of want to do a test on this. Let's see here. So which one was that? This guy. So let's go here. And then Control-Shift-E launches my Visual Studio. For those people who are familiar with that, what I have done is I've wired up my external editor in GitKraken, just Control-Shift-E on Windows to launch, and I've pointed it at dev env. So, and then we just double click on the solution because when you fire dev env at a directory, which is what GitKraken is going to do, it's just going to point at the repo root. It doesn't know which solution to open. Okay. We don't have that many unused usings, and it's just struggling to restore. There we go. Okay, so let's go to the UI tests, WPF, up-down controls, numeric up-down. So I don't think we need a separate test for decimal versus numeric since they share the same base. But I am thinking, let's see if we can do this one. Public async task, numeric up, down, tables, buttons when value equals bounds. Hold on. I'm doing my test name wrong. Tables buttons. And we may data drive this here in a moment. We'll just see. Okay, Copilot, you're a freaking show off. You are a show off. Okay. Bound numeric up down. Okay, so that's not actually what I want. What I actually want is something more akin to this. Yeah, but I don't need the bottom. So I just want this. Okay. Let's see. And then I want, let's see, maximum equals 10. Sure. Let's do minimum equals 1. And then we're going to do value equals 1, right? So we'll test the minimum case first. We don't need any of this stuff. Don't need any of this. Honestly, I guess we don't even need bool plus button enabled, minus button enabled, and then we will just do the asserts here, I think. Thank you, Copilot. Plus button let's see. Cert equals plus button enabled. It should just be plus button enabled. False minus button enabled. All right, so that should be the entire test, because I think the key thing here is at least reading that ticket, the initial state is as important as the alternate one. I want to make sure that when we set that initial state, that it actually fires. So compile, 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 go, 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 go. Launch. Okay, so test went red, I think. Let's see here. Oh, test went red because I duplicated value, and that is invalid XAML. Okay, that unfortunately makes some amount of sense. Dock this guy here for the moment. Okay, so test is green. When value equals, I think we're going to go with minimum. And then I think what I want to do here is value equals maximum. I kind of wonder if I just data drive this. Int value, bool, increase, enabled, bool, increase, enabled. So there's a method to this madness here. So when writing tests, you generally don't want to put in conditions if as much as you can help it, because conditions open you up to test failures. But if you find a case like this where it's like, I kind of want a condition, like I want basically the same stuff with a few things being different. One of the ways to work around that is to data drive your test and make your expectation. So rather than conditions about, because I could do, if value equals minimum, then, set this accordingly. But if instead I just do direct values, I end up with no conditions, right? Assert equals increase enabled. Oh, sorry. Is it equal? Yeah. Been using too many different test ones. Let's see. Decrease enabled. Right. So there's that. Maybe we should rename this to increase button rather than plus button. That seems to be a little better. Same with this one. We'll just rename it. Increase, decrease, there. Bippity boppity booyah. And then here, what we do is we just do inline data. All right, so there. And actually, I think what I want to do is split the difference. Like, I kind of want to test the happy case here. So on 1, I expect decrease to be false. On 5, I expect them both to be true. And on 10, I expect the increase to be stable. Now we can run this sucker, and it should just work. Hopefully. Yay. Okay. We're going to go description, issue, and then I think what we can let's see here. PR had this thing in here. 3796. Right? And we'll just slap that in here. Great. Okay. So I'm going to do this, add in UI test, commit, and push. And let's just jump out to the PR real quick. Obviously opens on the wrong screen because reasons. Excellent. Enable auto merge. Oh, hey, Copilot or GitHub. This is a new UI. I don't hate it. Huh. What's it just shipped very recently? That's cool. Okay. Put that one down. Let's go over here. Okay, small discrepancies with filled outline. So let's go here and here. I'm double clicking when I shouldn't. Okay. There's this guy here, and he needs to deal with the conflicts. So this conflict detector is kind of convenient because it can see that that I'm about to have a problem. So we're gonna rebase and just see what the problems are. There are merge conflicts. Let's take a look. Okay, so this one has a background on master. This one has background down here. I think. Well, hold up. Abort rebase. Let's review changes first because I have a strange feeling that numeric up down control is going to be part of this. Okay, so the background property was moved down here. Wait a minute. Yeah, review code and suggest changes. Okay. Let's see. This one has content grid, changing the opacity for enabled and has outline text field. Okay, so I think the easiest thing for this is let's run it because we've got a page on the demo app that's specifically around verifying that all of these fields look the same, act the same. But I don't know, it may not cover the numeric ones. Let's just look real quick. So when disabled, the background of the filled combo box is different. Then auto suggest box. Okay, so we might just need to check those. Okay, so let's go here, and we've got the fields line up one, and I'm trying to remember. Combo box is definitely in here, and it is specifically around disabling of fill. Well, the good news is that looks pretty good for disabling. We've got auto suggest box here as well, so that seems. We may jump to master to take a look at the difference. This does not. Oh, it does have numeric up down. Okay. General the background of the filled. Effectively, this row here had problems. Let's see. When disabled, the hints foreground. The auto suggest box is different. Okay, I'm gonna just screenshot this for the moment, so I can keep this here. And then, actually, you know what we should do? We should create a work tree. So let's see here. Where is create work tree? Pull create work tree from origin master. Yes, create work tree. So the idea here is a work tree is a, let's see, open work tree. A work tree is kind of like having a second clone of your repository. The difference, so you end up with a folder. It's got a full copy of your source code at the given point that you intended to be at. So in that regard, it is like a second clone. The big advantage of it, though, is it doesn't have a .git folder like what you would expect with a full clone, because that Git folder is actually a complete database of all of your commits and all of that stuff. A work tree just has a reference back to where the source Git folder is elsewhere, so you get to save on that database size. So for repositories that are quite big or have a lot of commits or similar, it can be quite an advantage to be able to go through and do it. Let's see. Demos, let's go here. A startup project. Okay. So I want to take a look at, so the one on the right is going to be the feature branch, and I'll put the other one on the left here in a moment. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see. So look at the same page, fields line up. Dock you over here. Okay, so I realize my big head is going to be in the way regardless of what side I put it on, but if I disable this, okay, so the background color, the numeric up down clearly is off. The hint color of the auto suggest box is definitely off as well. Okay, so I agree on both of those. So combo box check. Numeric up down the background color. I think that's what we just acknowledged. Yep. Numeric up down the background color isn't correct. Auto suggest. The disabled the field is wrong there. Yep. That now lines up better. Okay. When disabled, the foreground is different. Yeah, it is, because you can see how it's definitely a little lighter here than the rest of them. Okay, so we agree there. In general, the hint's foreground of outlined. Oh, yep, there as well. See it? Right there. Okay, yep. And then when disabled, the clear button foreground in the outline suggest box disabled. As clear button. When disabled, the clear button's foreground is different. Sorry, not disabled. I read that wrong. And also agree, because that thing is definitely lighter than the other options. Okay, cool. So then that means for testing this, we move my big head to the other side, and we go has clear button, and visibly all of those things look pretty good. All of those things look pretty good as they sit. Okay. So we're going to close this down before I get confused as to which Visual Studio is which. Okay, but the only thing we have to deal with here is dealing with the, and let's go back to our other branch, which is here. Okay. Now, if we go here, if I rebase this on master, let's see. No, I don't want that master. So I kind of want to hide that one so it doesn't get confused on it. And then I think people go there. Yeah, rebase onto there. Merge conflicts. And now I think we've got a better picture of what this ends up needing to be. I think what we want to take this side here. Actually, I think we want to take this whole thing. because I don't think we want this background change here. I think we want, because we had a similar bug where we fixed the background on the border, and I think that's what we want to keep. I think we want to test. You rebase and see if that handles it. Okay. So that did in fact, that was the only conflict. So let's check and see that it still looks correct. As long as it still looks proper there, should be pretty good. Okay, so line up. Okay, I'm going to make you big again, and we want the clear button and disabled. Look at that. That no bueno. That no bueno. Okay, so we actually don't want that change. We do want it down on the text box itself. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to just throw ourselves back to where we were. Reset here. And then we're going to do that rebase one more time. Then we will resolve the conflict differently. So instead, what we're saying is we actually like this fix here. So what we're going to do is, I think, just take this side wholesale. And I think we take this side wholesale. And then we're going to retest this guy. Recompile since I don't trust it otherwise. Reminds me, I need to go back and fix that SAML test. So much to do. So much to do. No time to do it all. Okay. Be bigger is enabled. Clear button. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm just going down through the list of things that were marked as problems before and double checking them again. I think those are all still good. So I think what we do now here is we force push. So when you do a rebase, as you can see, the previous history tree was here. The new history tree is up here. And so when you rewrite history like that, it does require a force push to effectively tell the remote host, hey, I know your branch pointer was over here, but nah, we're going to be up here now. And then we can just bounce out to the PRs, enable auto merge, and then this needs to go here. We can come in here and give it the old approve. Great. I rebased it on master to solve conflicts. Thank you. That one's gonna go as well. Yep, auto merge is set there. And then move that, and then make sure that goes in 5.3, and then I want to grab the bug for this one. Make sure that goes into 5.3 as well. This is not an evaluation, it is a bug. And then this guy here, I want to make sure I get the issue moved over as well. And drop the evaluation required. This new UI is kind of nice. I think I like it. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so there is all of that. Oh, good. So he was testing it on the exact same page I was. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so that gets us to there. That gets us to there. That gets both of those going. I think the other two PRs. Yeah, this is the one we were. New changes since I last viewed. What got going on here? Bum. Yeah, I'm trying to look at this one here. Yeah, this one gave me a lot of pause, and I don't know that we want to merge that. Okay. Okay. That handles that. That handles that. Next. You have to promise not to laugh at me. Okay. I'm going to try a little hand at a little bit of rust. Think. Okay, so Kaylin conveniently got me a code review, and we had a little chat on this thing here. So I think I showed this last time, but the Velopack flow stuff. Login. Let me in. Let me in. Right, so if we go and look at one of these releases, which this now should all be working much better. But there is this concept of a tiered rollout, being able to say, hey, I want to do this release and I want roughly 50% of my users to see this update, right? That way you can monitor telemetry, metrics, whatever you've got going to decide if you want to, bump it up more or similar. Like, okay, great, right? So did all of that, but then, let's see, just going to check some of these here. So this guy here, specifically this function, Kaylin pointed out that I was kind of dumb and didn't actually write any tests, which usually I love my tests. But this was Rust, and I was feeling not confident in myself, so I didn't. But that was wrong. So we are going to correct my mistake. So we're going to go here, and we're going to see about finding my way through this sucker. Because I would like to learn this. Now, I believe, so locator here. Now, Rust does have one kind of coolish thing stuff over here that Kaylin was showing me that I thought was kind of slick. Because one of the problems that you run into in C# is the idea of you want to test a private function. And there's lots of debates about should you even test a private function? No, you should always test something through the public API, blah, 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 right? And for good structure, that is true. However, there are a number of times where it would be significantly nicer to just be able to test your private function in isolation, right? You've got a little bit of logic, maybe it's doing some computational work. It's like, I just want to test this by itself. Like, yes, I could test it from the public API, but that requires a lot more setup than what I'm actually interested in covering. And so Rust has something that looks kind of cool, and I think it's up here in bins, source. Where was it? It was like installer RS, I think is where it was. Down here. No, where was it? Where was it? I saw it somewhere. It has the ability to do tests in line. And I don't recall where. Yeah, that thing. It lets you do this kind of stuff, which is weird to me, but it's also kind of cool, right? Like you can just run your tests straight up. And I think, yeah, you can just do this and you can run tests. So we're going to try to do this, and I'm just going to move this off to the side for a moment while I figure out how to set this up. So the function in question that we're looking to do. So the way that tiered rollout works is the Velopack generates a unique ID for the users. And right now it's literally GUID new GUID. But it doesn't really matter what it is as long as its hash is roughly evenly distributed, which .NET's hash codes are pretty good. They generally spread out nice. And it's like we weren't real concerned about like this isn't security based or similar. It's just kind of controlling who sees what updates when. And in reality, if people wanted to cheat the system, they could always just gen their own IDs or even request updates without them, and then the problem goes away, right? So it's like, like this is just kind of a a best effort to try to stage the rollout, but it doesn't guard against somebody who's like, I always want latest, give it to me now, right? So this function here, its purpose in life is to gen a new ID, shove it into the beta ID file, um, and then return it back, right? And if the file already exists, read the file out of it, and then we're off to the races. So this is what we would like to test. And I don't know my Rust stuff well enough, so please try not to make too much fun of me. How do I... Oh, sweet. So I can just do that. Can I pull you... Well, here, let's do this. So let's go down to the bottom and let's give ourselves a test first of all. We're going to try this. So pound test. Darn it, I'm going to learn this. Let's see. Function test beta ID. We're going to give it a better name here in a moment. Boom. So thank you, Copilot. Now shut up and go away. So that got me to there. And then we've got assert equal, assert bang. That's kind of cool. Assert not equal. I guess between the two of those, that pretty much covers everything of basic that you might want. Okay, so we're going to close this, and then I want a split window here, and I want to turn this one up because I got to figure out how to do this properly. All right, so the key thing here is what we are looking to do is test. Let's see, test locator, and then let's grab. What did we name this sucker? Should probably call it staged user ID. The only reason the file is called beta ID is for back compat with Cloud Squirrel. Stage user ID for new user. All right, so we're gonna go there, and then Copilot, you want to try to write the function for me? Anything? No? Izzy, welcome! Oh boy, you know a lot more language. Wilkomen? Boy, okay, I don't even know what language that one is. And now I gotta Google it. Welcome. In German. Ha. What are we up to? So, we just merged a couple PRs for the material design and XAML project, or at least we set them to autocomplete. We are attempting to figure out unit testing in Rust. At least that's my goal. So the tiered rollout stuff that I showed on the Velopack stuff last week, the PR is ready to merge, but Kaylin asked if I'd be willing to try my hand at writing a unit test for it, and I went, you know what? I should learn how to write unit tests here. And I will say, being able to have a test inside of the class that you're testing is like, it's weird, but it's kind of nice too. So it feels good-ish. So I kind of want to hunt this. Because I think what we want to do is we just want to create a locator. And this is where I'm a little. I need to understand exactly how this thing was set up because I added my code in without a lot of thoughts on how it should work. The other thought that was thrown out there is maybe what we should do is we should cache this value so that it doesn't change. Or Dutch. Dutch is pronounced differently. It's kind of a mushmash of German, French, and English. Ah, good. So parts of it will sound familiar to me, and I'll be completely clueless. It'll be great. I guess I'm trying to think. I know somebody who knows Dutch, and I feel like maybe now that I say it out loud, yeah, I have heard them say that before. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so self paths is going to get me in there. So I need to, let's see here. Create new locator with path to a test directory. I don't feel like that is how you want to get your thing. And more importantly, I don't think that is the I don't think that is it's get packages dir that I'm actually going after, but what is get packages dir? So I actually want this to be packages dir is more akin to what we're going for. And then how does the defaults actually set up? Path buffer. So I kind of want to look at where this guy, oh boy, wait, vey. Do we have a concept of a test directory? Willkommen, sort of a phonetical way it would be said. Willkommen. I can see it. Okay, so if this gets me my packages dir, where do I get my... Trying to see if we've already got a sample of like something that does test IO somewhere. It would probably be in the bins. I would think if we had something that did tests. Actually, you know what? If that's the case, what I should really do is find in folder. I should just look at the tests that are already in here and see, do any of these actually write out to a path? See, that one isn't actually writing to a path. It just has one of these. But more importantly, it kind of shows me what I should be doing here. What I was looking for, though, is something that, some test where we've written out to like a test directory of where is a safe-ish place to write test files to is kind of what I'm going for. I don't know the right answer to that. Like my default setting is to say, hey, let's go through. So this is actually what we want to be doing here. Kind of set our thing up. So we should probably do something more akin to that in our test. So it should look more like that. Actually, we're going to do this, but we're going to do... Don't know that this is a good directory to play in, though. And that's what's giving me a bit of pause, is I don't think we need to fully qualify. Is I kind of want to know... That's an OS X one. Is there a Windows one? Known path, user profile. You know what? Maybe we do... Because I bet you... let's see here. I am willing to bet. I don't really want the path. This guy here probably has a get temp directory or similar. Get temp. You get temp directory as string. Let's see. Tempter. Directory. I jumped. Okay, let's see. And then I want to go here, and I want to do this. Okay, and something like that for now. Let's see. Failed to resolve. Similar path exists. Standard OS Windows. I don't think that's actually what we want because I think we want to be able to reach across. Well, and that's the thing is I want a cross-platform way of grabbing the temp directory, not a Windowsy specific way of grabbing it. Then like for example here, that's a hard-coded path. Probably why it's set to ignore. What I want is a cross-platformy way of getting a temp directory or a working directory. Let's see. This one here is also Windowsy specific. That's okay. Let's see. Parse.net version, blah, blah, blah. Test web view. These are all fine and good tests, but I want something that actually hits a directory. Okay. Test unpin shortcut. And these are also fine, but they're also hitting things very specific to Kaylin's system. Yeah. Because we could go through and... Okay. When in doubt, we ask the magical AI. How can I get the temp directory on all platforms? Pretty please, Copilot, give me a hint. Oh, really? It's that specific. Between processes, different processes. Let's use a secure method to create a uniquely named file. Great. And then does the join method allow me to pass in? Okay, so then can I just do, okay, so now, how can I create a random directory name? Yeah, I don't like that. Well, maybe I don't like that. How do I know that random string doesn't give me invalid characters? Oh, this is alphanumeric. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that'll give me alphanumeric. Okay. 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 I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Okay, so that gets me to there. Back down, head back down, head back down. We want packages dir, not root app dir. Packages dir. And then that gets me to there. That gets me a new locator. And then what I would like to call here is where this function is. So get stage user ID and assert that it's not empty. I think. So locator, get stage user ID. Let stage user ID. Some lib maker special temp special random file. Yeah. See, Izzy, I'm learning slow though. I learn very slow. I will say, Kaylin is very nice, and he is very kind about it. But there was some of my code that he looked at. He's like, I don't know where you came up with this idea. It's like, I'm sorry, Copilot helped, and I was too dumb to know that Copilot was an idiot. Okay, so staged used ID. user ID, and then assert. I guess I don't have any way of doing this. So what I kind of want to check is one, that I get a value back that's not empty, and two, that there is a file created under that directory called beta ID that contains that. I think that's what I'm going for. Cert not equal. Is it still expected actual? Is that the way we do this here? Cert not equal. Let's see. Doesn't really tell me which way this goes. Great. We're gonna go there. Okay. And then what I want to do is, let's actually do this. Well, I guess we can just read it. Is if we do locator get packages dir join, and then we want to join in the dot beta ID. The assert. Let's see. I guess assert by itself is just a true assertion. We'll do that. Make sure it exists. Then verify. Yeah, so I feel like I don't like getting this. So let's do something like let beta ID path equal that, right? And then we will do beta ID path exists. And then we'll do this guy here. Beta ID path. And I was told before, you don't really want to use the unwrap, because unwrap, as I now understand it, is kind of like not really a good way of saying it, but in C# when you do task.result, how it can easily bite you because it forces evaluation and then could cause problems if, say, the task threw an exception or similar. In Rust, you have panic, which is more like process die, as I understand it. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is as a learner and how I recognize it. Right? Because this function may panic, its use is generally discouraged. That's the key line. Robert, you're a little off. This is Rust, not WPF, but I appreciate it. I think though in this case, I think what I actually want then is, I don't want to unwrap, but I think what I want is assert this. It's my default opener, so just roll with it. Better than OS panic and crash. Yes, Izzy, yes. Yeah, process termination is fine. But there's a way to grab the I want my C# pattern matching right here, right? Where I can do this. Because you can do this maneuver here, right? But I just finished in C# saying don't do conditions in your test, and I think the same holds true here, right? Oh, wait a minute. I think I get it now. I think what you do is this maneuver here. Does that play nice? And then you get rid of this. Can you do an inline declaration like that? Or is that no bueno? Like I wanna, I really want pattern match. Yeah, I get it. You're unhappy. So this is where I'm trying to figure my way through it. Cannot find. You might have meant to introduce a new binding. Yes, I did mean to introduce a new binding, but I didn't think it was gonna play nice because it doesn't let me. Oh, do I have to get away with? I have to do that? Wonder there's a. I believe there's a way to do this, and this is what's bothering me. Because this feels pattern matchy to me. Um, um, I guess though what we can do is we can actually so we can get away with this a little bit because we can go back. I know I can make this work. If I do this, right? And I don't know if panic is the right. I think what I want to do is assert false, right? Because I want it to intentionally fail in that case. Okay, let's run the test and see what happens. Because that's the other fun drawback is I'm somewhat learning my tool chain as we go as well. Okay, run test, failed. Test failed, rerun pass with blah 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 blah. Failures, test locator. Oh, it panicked at locator RS 571. 571. Assertion failed, backtrace. Okay, so let's see. Let's do something along the lines of user file and then I think it's is the oh it's the format thing. Format like that. It goes like that, and then this becomes uh that. Let's see here. What are you unhappy about? Format must be a string literal. Thought it was. You might be missing a string literal to format with. Oh, because you're not a string. Oh, that's why it wanted the string. Because you don't auto to string things for me. That's right. But do I need lossy? Not not just have a to string? Yeah. That thing. Uh okay, if I go there, might be missing a string literal to format with there. Let's see here. What is the type of this? Path buffer. How do you convert a path buff to a string? Okay, Copilot, educate me. No results. What? Right? Path buff. Fix. Okay. You need to change the format macro to use a string literal directly. That not what I... Oh. That what you're complaining about? Is a format string? It must be a string that the power of the formatting string is in the curly braces contained. The formatting string, blah blah blah. Convert a single value to a string is two string method. This will use the display formatting trait, blah blah blah. Okay. I think it goes like this. Okay. What am I missing, Copilot? Explain it. You need to use the string literal in the format macro. I understand that format is a macro, and I understand that you are asking for a string literal, but for the life of me, I am unclear as to why what I am passing you is not that. Oh. You in chat. Okay. Regen. A shorter question. Okay, Copilot, you're not fix. Maybe I'm missing something obvious here, Copilot, but how is yours different than mine? I'm not understanding something, Copilot. String lossy. Yeah, you might be missing. Yeah, I was going to say, mine looks real similar to that, Copilot. Am I missing something else that's not making this obvious? Is the beta ID different? No. Okay, well, regardless, even if we scrap the messagey bit, right? The whole reason for wanting to write the messagey bit was just so that I could see where this thing goes. Is there a way? Let's just debug the test, right? Because if I can just debug the test, I can get what I want to. Find in files assert. Ah, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Are any of you using a message or a format string? Not looking very likely. Okay, terminal will be used by test. Okay, so I need to close that before I can debug my test. Or native. Install. I don't know. What are these things? 8 million people can't be that wrong. Let's give it a try and see. Look for another one I can copy. No, you're right, Izzy. That is a good idea. I'm just realizing that most of the ones that are out here don't do custom messages. It's very, very disappointing. Though I am noticing inside of tests, unwrap appears to be allowed. Which kind of makes sense. Like, it's a test. Okay, so let's go back here and let's try this debugging option again. Okay. What I really want to do, there we go. Oh, didn't mean to put a breakpoint there. Okay, so if I do, let's see here, step, right? And then I want to see beta ID path. So I want to go look where this guy is. Is known file. How do I look at your values? Okay, I know C# spoils me, but don't. I mean, I could view the binary data, but this seems like a heck of a lot of work. There we go. Copy value. That's what I want. Ish. I want that value only. Oh, dear heavens, not that value. Sorry. It copied with all of the stuff. So I do know it's under local app data. So that we can get myself into here. And then we can go down into Velopack. Oh, it didn't write any values. Oh. Oh, it didn't write any oh. Okay. Okay, let's stop and re-debug this. Okay. I think this fails because I think if I don't create the directory, this thing is actually hitting the warning. That's my theory. Is that we are actually hitting the warning. So that doesn't exist, creates a new ID, goes to write to the path, warning, couldn't write out, right? Then returns the new string. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Okay, that's what's happening. Okay. So if you don't make the directory, it no worky. Got it. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Okay, so now what we need to do here is ensure directory exists, or whatever the equivalent is. Ensure the packages directory exists. Let's see, and this returns me a result. So I should be able to do assert like that, and then I don't need, right? We can do that. That should get me a directory, which then I assume it can write the beta ID. That's the theory. Okay, so now if I step in, yep, ding, 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 generated new ID, great, 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 back out, staged user ID. You are a pain in the butt to look at in an inspector, but that looks like a GUID to me with, I don't understand why there's random characters at the end, but I cannot eliminate that being it's got a length of 36, so it's not grabbing all those characters. Must just be showing me a section of memory. Okay, so that goes there. Path exists. Great. Reads the string. Let's see, beta ID path. So I guess then the question is, I go here. It wrote the beta ID, but where did it write it to? Yeah, so there's one here, open path. And I assume GZAJ got to be the path if we look at it. Let's see. Nope. That is a lot of garbage. I think I almost like the idea of just leveraging this guy rather than relying on get packages dir here. And that is exactly what this code here is doing. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's a small but important difference between those two. Okay. One more time. Okay, we're going to step over since we know that it saves properly. Come on. Step. No. Steppy, steppy. No. Hates me. Okay. Run test, perhaps? Let's see. Panicked at 580 is here again. And I'm not confident that this is actually giving me what I expect. Let's go here. Packages dir equals locator. Then packages dir join beta ID path. Should be the same thing, beta ID path, because that's a path buffer. Then we come down here and we do the same read string of the code we presume to be working properly. All right. Run this guy again. Step, 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 step. Beta ID path. Really do not like the debugging experience that I am getting from this. Might have to go try one of those other ones. Okay, but the important thing here is that looks kind of like something I would expect. And the assert passes for that. Means I would expect read to string to do something proper. But it doesn't. How can I get the... How can I get the error? I think if I just do this. this will panic and then I'll get to see it. I think that might be the path of least. Notify my Get Kraken subscription will renew next week. Has it really been that long? I know, it's exciting, isn't it? I always get excited. Are you the only one at your company using it, Get Kraken, or is there a bunch of others? The error invalid. Stream did not contain valid UTF-8. Did this thing not write UTF-8? Let's see here. Path contents. Do I have to set an encoding or something in here? Let's see here. Do not contain. I mean, I guess the other thing is, right? We've got the file right here. If I open it up, do I see? Oh. Oh wait, this is if it's ANSI encoding. How do I get? Oh, and I'm not cleaning these up at all. That's a little bad. I'll have to make do with those at some point. How? Does this write new ID as a UTF-8 string? Oh, that's UTF-4. Let's see here. Well, it's difficult to determine what it does. If you want to write new ID as a UTF string, you typically use like write metros or methods within. Well, let's go look at what the shortcut stuff does and see, because maybe that doesn't. Maybe this thing didn't work the way I thought it did. Thought I had gotten it working, but maybe I'm an idiot. Let's see here. So how do you write a file? Because this guy here should be writing them as well. Main. Let's getting all these directories. What are you about to do with them? Link, set target path. Create shortcuts. Looks like an iterator of some kind. Get shortcut file name. Yeah, this. This is like the pattern matchy stuff. I guess that part may not be that far off. Yeah. Okay, Copilot menu. We'll come back to you in a moment. Link set. This very much looks like remove file, remove dir. Oh, look at that. Create dir all. That looks like a much cleaner way of doing this. That's exactly what we did. Look at that. Okay. And then so I guess if I do this, I should be able to look and see there's a read, but not necessarily. Where's file used in here? That's not it, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. File open. Memory mapping the file. Yeah, that's not quite right. Here, you also file create. Okay. So I am noticing though that there may just be a straight bug in the code where, oh wait, Copilot, I don't like you. This is not converting let get new ID to string. I'm wondering if this will actually get me what I'm looking for. Okay, so we have killed off all our beta IDs. The only one that's going to be here is going to be our good one. Just okay. Ha 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 ha. We make progress. That is this one. Edit. There we go. Okay, so we weren't too stringing the ID, so that caused great pain and suffering. Okay, so now that we fixed that, there was a bug in the code. See, I must have messed that up when I switched to this UUID thingy-mabobber. Okay, let's do another test, and let's test the existing user case. We'll deal with cleanup here in a moment because we probably should clean up this stuff, but I don't know how to properly do cleanup inside of this. So for now we just won't. Okay, let's see. For existing user, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do this maneuver. And then I think what I want to do is I want to just, I think I just want to straight right out to the file. Because it doesn't, the key thing here is this doesn't have to be anything fancy. So let's see. This can literally just be test user ID. Does not matter what it is. So if we just do test user or stage user ID, right? We'll do that. We don't have the beta ID path, so we need to bring this up, right? And then we're going to write it. And then we want to actually request, how about affected user ID, right? So we're going to go here, affected user ID. Let's see. Local variable with similar name exists. Yeah. Hush. We'll deal with that in a second. Staged user ID. Assert equal expected. I assume these are expected actual. I'm guessing Doesn't really matter. And then I guess we don't need to check the file because we already asserted on it. So that should go there. Right? And so that should be checking it here. Yeah, so run test. One test pass. Okay, cool. So we got both of those in. And now the question is, how do I clean up open chat? How do I clean chat? Let's see. Blaine, how can I delete a folder at the end of a test, regardless of test pass or fail? Yeah, sure. Uh, um, let's see. Yes, you can use the roasted drop trait to create a custom cleanup struct. Struct will delete the folder when it goes out of scope. Here you can modify. Oh, just to include this cleanup. So let's see. That does that. How does it? How do it know? Missing something obvious. Close this for a minute. I want to make you wider. Why can I not make you wider? Um. Got it. So I think what we do here is we do something like uh mod s, right? Because I don't think I want this outside of it. I think that goes like that. And then I need to fully qualify that to be able to reference it, right? And then I need effectively the same thing as what was up here. Well, we can do the auto include, right? So I need util as well. Port crate util. I need locator. Then I need manifest. That gets all of those going, right? Unused imports. This is, let's see, Warren. I don't think it's as unused as you think it is. Because I think what we want to do is something like this. Yeah, see, it is used. And then this guy can go here. Right, and then this goes here. And then we come down here. And we're going to do something akin to this. We're going to pull you out and do something like let testdir equals. Well, I guess I should name this Got to do the rusty thing, make it named properly. Tester goes like that, and then we do something like this. And then this gets tester clone, right? And then when this guy goes out of scope, it cleans it up. Everybody gets to be happy. Don't need that. This there. Then you get tester. Then what I want to see, let's see here. So there's that. There's that. Implement drop for test cleanup. Never constructed. Is it? Isn't it right there? Yeah. Okay. So now if I run this test, right, and I probably should go through and blow away these. Okay, so those ones are gone. Now if I run all the tests in the module, both tests pass, no new folders. Okay. I don't know what the right naming scheme is for, we have mod used elsewhere. What is the mod logging apply? So underscore based, probably where it goes. Okay, so something akin to that. Okay, well, that, then let's just make sure that, are there any other code paths? We can't really simulate the failure case here, but okay. In bug with writing out the ID, attempting write Rust. Right. Boo, yeah. Okay, that gets us there. That gets us there. Oh, pull doesn't do anything. Push. Okay, and then Kaylin can go review my Rust code and tell me everything that I did wrong. But yeah, the whole idea of traits in Rust is both cool and weird. Like they're a weird mix of like C# default interface members, kinda ish, sorta, not really, but you can mix and match them like attributes type thing. So, but this is kind of cool, being able to abuse effectively everything is, I don't want to say disposable, but everything is deterministically cleaned up. And so being able to abuse that is kind of a slick little thing of create a cleanup and then go through and do that. Okay, so that's good. That's done. That's done. I like it. 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 Okay, so we send that, send that, send that, send that. And I think let that go. Double check my own code. What we did here. Then did a rename here. I renamed the option. I left Kaylin's feedback here was it was a little wordy. So we shortened up the option name, but I left the property the same because it felt more exact. Let's see, what was the change in here? Formatting, 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 formatting. That should all be fine. Okay, so we're gonna request re-review from Kaylin, and then this will go, and we can resolve that conversation, and then yeah, we will await the feedback there. Okay, cool. Well, that gets this all up and rolling. That gets that in. I may end up cutting this stream a little short tonight then because I have a couple of videos I need to record before tomorrow, and it might be nice to do it while I'm conscious rather than later. So, uh, once again, if anybody is interested in taking Velopack Flow for a test drive and providing me feedback, let me know. I would love to get a lot more testing done on it. I do think I'm going to push for the material design demo apps to be deployed, or at least that as an option for the deployed mechanism, just as a way of getting some nice, we'll call it real world testing on it. But it's going quite well. So, but if anybody is interested, app.velopack.io, please reach out to me. It is uh, everything in there is set up and should be working, but do be aware that we are technically running in beta at the moment. Like this big fancy yellow button, yeah, it no clicky. Don't do that. But it does have quite a bit in there, and like I said, I'd love to get some more feedback from people. But I think with that, I'm going to tell everybody thank you for hanging out. Izzy, as always, great to see you. I assume you're about to either head into work or go hang out with the mini me. But I'll tell everybody happy coding. See y'all next time.